Congratulations to the Texas Rangers for winning their first World Series in over 60 years. They were an expansion team all those years with Nolan Ryan, the back-to-back years with Washington going to a World Series and couldn't get over the hump. And now finally they got over the hump, and they made the right move in the offseason this year and bringing in Bruce Bochy. Bochy really transitioned this team, changed this team for the better. And everybody keeps talking about some of the players they brought in the offseason and even the offseason before that. A lot of people questioning the Semien move. He didn't really produce his first year. And then this year completely transitioned because I think Bruce Bochy brought it out of the team. Some of these youngsters that they brought up, they moved to the bullpen. And then their starting rotation. You bring in Jordan Montgomery at the trade deadline. And then you bring in Nathan Eovaldi in free agency. They did everything right this offseason. Everything worked for them. And now Jordan Montgomery and Nathan Eovaldi. Montgomery wins his first World Series. Nathan Eovaldi wins his second World Series. He won one with the Red Sox. Now these guys are free agents. And they're going to make themselves a lot of money this offseason because there are going to be teams that are going to want playoff-bound pitchers. Montgomery this year proved again. He was, I believe, the Yankees' best playoff pitcher the couple of years that he was pitching in the playoffs for the Yankees. Nathan Eovaldi proved himself with the Red Sox. He's proved himself now with the Texas Rangers. This guy is going to make a lot of money. He wanted to be a Yankee in the offseason. Maybe the Yankees this offseason bring him in. He did wonders for San Francisco, and he even did wonders in '98 with the Padres. I remember that World Series. They got killed by the Yankees. They had Ken Caminiti.
They were a wild card team. Too,
yes,
so
they
it was
were.
Kind of a surprise.
I remember that, and Hoffman and Tony Gwynn, and they fell short. The Yankees absolutely demolished them. They swept them. You go back in the time that the Yankees were dominant. I don't even think we'll ever see a team that dominant in a sport ever again. That was an onslaught of offense by the Texas Rangers. It was unbelievable. And I have been very impressed with Nathan Eovaldi. Jordan Montgomery has been untouchable, unhittable. You bring in these veteran guys. Montgomery, who was a very good pitcher for the New York Yankees. Now, I liked Harrison Bader, and he played very well in the playoffs when the Yankees went all the way into the ALCS. He had 5 home runs during the playoffs, and he was traded for Jordan Montgomery. But to get a pitcher that could pitch in the playoffs consistently, his ERA in the playoffs is closer to 2. It's unbelievable. The Yankees should have never traded. I take back what Brian Cashman did. I thought it was a good trade. Bader is no longer New York Yankees. The Yankees had no interest in re-signing him in the offseason. They waived him and let him go. And Jordan Montgomery has become an all-world pitcher in the playoffs. And now I'm hearing stories that the Yankees could go after Jordan Montgomery at the end of the season because he's a free agent. There were a lot of questions a couple of years ago when they gave 2 players in Semien and Seager all that money. They make a move. They bring in Jacob deGrom. He couldn't stay healthy this year. You're bringing all these millions and millions of dollars of players in, and they were not producing. And then finally, 2 years, you bring in Bruce Bochy, a winning manager that retired, decided to come back because his dream was to win a championship with Texas. He grew up a Texas Ranger fan. He was only coming back if he got the Texas job. He takes over a young team, and from 100 losses to one of the better young teams in baseball. Yes, they snuck into the playoffs. The second half of the season wasn't as good as it was in the first half.
No, they blew the division.
But they still made the playoffs, and they got hot at the right time, and it tells you what Bruce Bochy is when it comes to leading young guys into men. Complete change of what we've seen when it comes to baseball. In any sport, you have the right coach, the right manager, you have a chance to win every single year. You say whatever you want about Bill Belichick. I can't stand him either. He's one of the best coaches in all of football. Every year you have a chance to make the playoffs because you have a great coach like that who can get that team to play at the top of their game. Same thing with Joe Torre. You say whatever you want about Joe Torre, the talent that he has. He had something about him that got these guys to play for him. Greg Popovich, Pat Riley, Peter Laviolette. If you have the right coach coaching that particular team, a young team that's trying to figure things out, it could change everything. The Yankees, there were stories coming out that said that they're interested in Jordan Montgomery. They're not getting Ohtani. If the Yankees don't get Yamamoto, I think they'll bring in Montgomery. They don't have to give him more than $100 million. They'll bring in Montgomery because he could be your third guy because they're going to lose Severino in the offseason. So they can pay Montgomery probably the same amount that somebody's going to pay Severino. He's going to make about $21 million. I think Montgomery is an affordable contract. You could put right in your rotation. It could be a big part of your rotation in the playoffs if you make the playoffs. If you lose out on Yamamoto, I don't think the Yankees are Yamamoto either. I think it makes a lot of sense. Soto, there's a lot of rumors that the Yankees are going to bring in a guy like Derek Jeter in the offseason to help out as an executive there because when he speaks, the Yankees listen. He said last year the Yankees should bring in a guy like Soto, that they should make a trade at the trade deadline for Soto. Now all of a sudden you're hearing before the season end that the Yankees are going after Soto and that they're in talks with the Padres.